Welcome to Frostland Survivor Man. I am the Frostman, and with me again is Joey.
What a beautiful day out here today. We actually got a little prep up work done. We were working on the sawmill this morning, and I asked Frostman, what do you do if the log's too big to fit on the sawmill? Because there's just, you can get, what, 18 inches on that thing, diameter?
26 is the most we can do.
26, and that would be really heavy for two guys for us to live and move around. So I asked him, what do you do when you're out in the middle of the timber and you can't bring the sawmill?
This is it. This is the apparatus that we use. We use the chainsaw mill. And this one is a borrowed one from my friend Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. Really appreciate it. He and his dad actually milled quite a bit of lumber with one of these. And what we have here, Joe, is an old maple log. Big, too big for our sawmill. It would work for a little bit on it, but not much. There's not much we can do with it. So we're going to mill it today with the chainsaw mill.
Fantastic.
Which is a lot of work. Let me just state that right away. The chainsaw mill is a lot of work. And you have to have really two guys that can work together without having to talk about it. So a lot of it's going to be anticipation, what has to happen next, how does it have to happen. And I just got back from that trip out to Minnesota to see Merle.
Yep.
And Merle is a kindred spirit to me. And I figured out part of the reason why I'm such good friends with you, such good friends with Merle, and there's a few other people. And it's not just because you're kindred spirits. You and Merle have this quality about you. Both of you have it. And it's just a steadiness. You're steady. Both of you are very steady guys. That doesn't sound like it means a lot, but it really does. Because both of you being steady, I know always what to expect from you.
Yep.
Something
to be said for consistency.
There is. When Joey says he's going to show up, if Joey doesn't show up and you don't hear from him, you can rest assured he's probably dead. So this is this aluminum frame sawmill, okay, that runs on the chainsaw. It only spans this much distance, which I didn't measure, but probably should have. Looks like about 32 inches.
That's what I was thinking.
So we're going to put the big chainsaw in here, but it's even too small to do this big log.
Right.
So what I have to do is I'm going to fire up the saw and then cut this edge off over here so it will fit through for the first cut. Once we get the first cut, the log is automatically smaller, right?
Correct.
So the first cut will make the log smaller. The second cut will do the same thing, and then eventually we'll get to the point where we're milling it. Now, what we're going to make, actually, I think I'll play that a little closer to the vest. Okay. What we're going to make, you're going to have to wait to see.
I like it.
You will know, but I'm not going to tell you until we get it all done. So the first thing to do is, see, I built this framework, this apparatus. That's gonna, our chainsaw mill is gonna rest on that when we slide through and do our first cut.
Gotcha. For any of you that ask yourself, where should I get those 2x4s? You want to just click stop and go to a different video.
Probably the right answer. So the first thing I gotta do is, that's the other thing. I gotta show you this. We don't do this with a little saw. We do this with the big unit.
Holy smokes.
This is also Daniel's saw, okay? And what's really incredible about Daniel's
big blade
saw is this is the older 660. Now, when I started logging 100 years ago, when I was a much younger man and could carry a chainsaw around in the timber, I cut with a 66, the regular steel 66, which in my opinion is the best chainsaw ever built. Absolutely, bar none, without question. It is the best chainsaw ever built. We're going to use its cousin today to mill this log. And first thing we got to do is get enough room to get it through.
Sounds good. And you
bolted
this frame onto the log too, yep. So it's not going to go anywhere.
The other thing is I want to warm the saw up so that when we go to start it to do the first cut, it's already warm. You just got to pull the cord once, especially since you're going to try to pull it left-handed. What do you think, Joey?
Well, we've got it all framed up. We've got the saw gassed and bar oiled, hooked into the frame. It looks like it's good to go here.
Well, there comes a point in everybody's life when it's time to either raise the sail or drop the sail.
I like it.
So if we don't do it,
Never do it.
let's do it.
So you want my hands on here, and we're just gonna
Yep,
go
and
soft.
the main thing you're going to do is hold it down on this end. I'm going to pull this way, and you're going to push this way. Back and forth till we get to the other end. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay, back it up a little bit so that...
Just for safety, I'm not close to the chain. I don't have to worry about it cutting off my...
once we get this far into the log, your arms are going to run out.
Oh yeah. I'll have
So
be
you're
on
going to
this
be
side.
over there, and I'm going to be over here. Oh, we're digging in already? Holy smoke. All right. This is the thing I forgot, Joey, this felling wedge.
Okay.
Okay, it also works when you're milling this. When we get halfway through here, this is going to get really heavy, and it gets thinner as we finish the cut. So what will happen is this end will come down and it'll pinch the saw. So once we get in there a little bit, we put the wedge in to hold it up. And that does a great job. Excellent choice.
Moly. That's a big, thick piece of wood there.
Let's not put this one in the truck. That'll be some weight. We'll get some birch logs and we'll lay it down right here. Hey, those two that we cut this morning, those will work perfect. Good idea. We got the first one off through quite a bit of ordeal and having to shave the log down a little bit. We got it off of there. Now we're ready to do the second one. One thing that's happening during this cutting is I'm yelling at you, and I guarantee you they can hear me in the video, but you can't hear me 3 feet away.
Cannot. No.
No. What I'm trying to get you to do is listen at a certain point to hear what optimum cutting sounds like with the saw. When the saw is doing exactly what it should be doing, it's not bogging and it's not over revving. It's just smoothly going through. So what I'm going to do this time is when it gets to that sound, I'm going to yell now as loud as I can and have you listen to what it sounds like, because when we're pushing it at that speed, we're going perfectly.
Gotcha.
That is cake. That's what
Took
we're
about
shooting.
the third day on the sawmill for me to get that sound versus looking at it.
Yep.
But
And
now
it's a lot more about sound and feel than it is about vision.
Yep.
And some of the stuff, like even, and I didn't even realize this, but when I was cutting trees, I can feel that tree move through the root system in the ground with my feet before I ever see it happen or hear it crack.
Okay.
I'll go down here. Let's try and stand this up, Joey, and see if we can get a view of it. For this way, everybody. Okay. Spin your end a little bit that way. Oh. Well, what do you think?
This is a big piece of lumber now. And ironically, as thick and heavy as this is, we haven't even shaved off a fifth of this log. We haven't even gotten to the point where we can roll it yet.
Isn't that amazing?
There's a lot of lumber in here. And
if you can't lift it, don't. Tell me right away if we can't do it.
gotcha.
Okay, so pitch it down. You
got
okay?
it. Yep.
All right. Well, it is time to roll it. Now that I look at it.
And we're kind of giving away what it's going to be. This is going to be the world's largest cribbage board. No, probably not.
It could be that. I wonder if I can roll this with my pipe.
We're going to help on this.
Where one is good, two are better.
That's really. Do we want to get a spacer again, or is this a keeper?
Yeah, but I don't know what for. I don't know what I'm going to make it into. However,
What's all that trouble?
sure got easy at this end, didn't it?
Well, easy doesn't mean good wood, though.
Cutting through soap right there. It's not even on that side anyway, and I don't want to move it just yet. I just want to show it. But
Yeah.
so, what do you think? This is actually the name of this mill is Alaskan, and I think this is a Mark III. And I know Daniel and his dad cut a mountain of white oak lumber with it, and white oak is considerably harder than this maple that we're cutting here.
Okay.
But I think we got it at exactly a 90-degree angle there, which was one of the things I was worried about, if we were going to be able to do that or not, and it looks like we did.
Nice.
So that's super cool. And then Joey's learning more about RPMs, what they sound like when it's working, what they sound like when it doesn't work.
And when it's about to bog down and
Yeah.
listen, you got to really use all your senses.
You got to find the sweet spot, and on this, because it's cutting the whole length of the bar, it's very difficult. It's much more difficult to do it on something where you're cutting the whole length of the bar than you're cutting something this big around, you know?
Right.
So,
Oh, and you can totally see that there's the burn marks in there and the scuff marks. And
so this,
today's episode brought to you by Phlegm. Phlegm, not just for winter colds.
that's what's hottest in my throat. I can't imagine how that happened. So all three of our fans can see what we did today.
No, shout out to Mom. Mom.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Ma, Merle's mom. Splendid to see you. Hi, Joey's mom. We're wearing clean underwear in case we get into an accident.
Well, they were clean when I started.
So that's it for today,
All right, we've got some.
because we both got to work our regular job today, so it's time for me to load up and get cleaned up. And Joey's got to work earlier than I do, so I might even get a nap in before work.
Boss
Joey
doesn't
will
mind
not.
me coming in smiling, but he doesn't like me coming in looking like sawdust.
There you go.